Hey, what's up everyone? Eric here, and today we're going to talk about corner sinks.
It all started with the feeling. It all started with the feeling.
So, often I get asked about placing a sink at the corner, and here I've got a little example for you. What you see here in the green tape is the physical cabinet that's underneath here. So you have a diagonal cabinet that has a 45 degree in the front, and then it cuts to the back on both sides. So that's the visual for you. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. So usually I shy away from this. I'll just get it out of the way. I usually try to place a sink somewhere other than the corner. So I'll go over a few of the considerations. So number one, I find that this is not the most efficient use of space for the corner sink cabinet itself. The reason being, if I were to take a measurement from our wall here to this tape, we're at 36 inches wide. Now, if I were in a regular scenario where we have a sink-based cabinet up against a wall and is 24 inches deep, that's a standard depth for a base cabinet, I can fit up to a 33-inch sink bowl for this size cabinet. In this particular scenario, at a diagonal, at 36 inches wide by 36 inches deep, so this is a 36 by 36, we're at 21 inches for the width of the sink bowl. So that's my number one dislike, if you will, for a corner sink, because you get a much smaller sink in this scenario. Now you may ask, well, Eric, why can't we just use a bigger cabinet? You can. You could go with a 39 by 39 or even a 42 by 42. But look at how much space that takes up. At 42 inches, you're all the way out here, and you're really taking away storage from the cabinets that you could have had on the side. So here, this is 6 inches that is taken away. So that's my number one point. The second point is, if we were to use a corner sink, you usually end up placing the sink bowl itself a little bit more forward into the corner. And what that translates to is you have a little bit more space in the front of your sink. So for the viewers at home, if you're watching this at home, go ahead and take a measurement tape and see how far your sink is in your current sink from the sink bowl to the front edge of your countertop. So if you have a regular standard sink facing a wall in a 24-inch base cabinet scenario, you probably no more than a couple of inches from here to here. In this particular case, I'm looking at about 8 inches of space here. So what does that mean? Pretend that I'm doing dishes right now. I have to reach a good bit forward and angle myself to actually get to the sink over here. 8 inches is a bit of a reach for me, and especially I don't have a really good back, so it's not ideal. And that's really just to the edge here of the sink. If I were to look at the faucet, looking at this, look at where that's hitting compared to where I actually am. So this is a good 16, 17 inches for me to reach over here to wash. So just imagine if you're doing dishes for 15, 20 minutes here. It's not the most ergo position. And then you have the corner that's in the back there. So in this particular user's case, they have a little compost can, but again, look at how far is this reach for me. So I find that the reach to be a little bit challenging for most people. Your mileage may vary, but that's my number two dislike for this. Now, there are ways to work around this if you do decide to choose a corner sink. So I'm going to use some tape to show the workaround for this. I am going to go this way. So for example, if I were to use a standard 24-inch cabinet at a diagonal, so let's see, that's roughly here, and right around there. Okay. Now, what this is about a 30-inch wide cabinet by 24 deep. And as you can see, there's a lot less room here on the front edge of the countertop to the inside edge of the bowl. So essentially, when the countertop gets cut, this won't be there anymore, and I can just stand a little bit closer to the sink. Now, what that does, however, is it creates a little bit of a dead space in the corner. How do I mean by that? So if we look at the current sink cabinet, this is a 17-inch wide cabinet front. Compared to what I'm proposing, it's a 30-inch wide cabinet front. And so as this door opens, this hinge that you're seeing is really back here, and your cabinet right next to it is going to be binding a little bit. So essentially, my cabinet needs to move from this edge all the way over here for this drawer to open and for this door to be able to open at 90 degrees. So that would be a workaround to this scenario. But now look at how much space I have taken up. I'm at 45 inches from the wall, just so I can have a sink to be at an angle and starting my next cabinet all the way from 45 inches from the corner rather than 36. So now what I have done essentially is, here is the side edge of the new would-be drawers, and all of this here is now a void space, and that's 6-7 inches or so of void there. All of this corner is void. All of that corner is void. So even when I'm able to get a corner sink to be more ergonomical to use, I'm still wasting a lot of space that could be potentially storage. Now, you know, is it all bad? No. I think if you have a really nice view, if you have corner window on both sides and you're looking over the ocean or something like that, absolutely. You know, there are scenarios where the sink really makes sense at a corner. It just depends on your particular layout. But in most scenarios, I think there are better ways to design the sink at other locations. And I'm actually not done. There's a third reason why I don't love sinks at the corner. So if you look over on this side, we've got a dishwasher here. Standard 24-inch dishwasher. Now, dishwashers are usually easiest to install when it's immediately next to the sink cabinet. So your plumber can just hook it up and it's nice and easy. When I have the sink at the corner, however, if the dishwasher was all the way right up against the sink, I would have no room to stand. Look at how this drawer is right now. It's actually running into my thigh. So for this to make any sense, you know, so I could actually stand here and open the racks and load the dishes and all that. The last designer put a 14-inch wide cabinet here just to push the dishwasher further away from my thigh, or his thigh or her thigh, whoever was doing dishes back then. But point being, your dishwasher needs to be further away from the sink. Now, of course, you can still do it. You know, obviously, the plumber, whoever is installing this, they figured it out. But it's just a little bit more work when you have to deal with the plumbing that's not right next to the sink cabinet. So just one more food for thought for access and for plumbing. How would I go about designing this kitchen if we were to start from scratch? I would probably take this sink out of the corner and put it on a regular wall on a standard 24-inch deep cabinet space. In this case, there is a window here. So I'd probably put the sink at the window. You know, whoever did this kitchen before, they had a peninsula, and my recommendation would be to just get rid of the peninsula and run this cabinet all the way to the corner, and then put the sink right there, and you can see out the backyard and, I don't know, watch your kids or whoever, or entertain with your guests. But that's my recommendation. So I hope this content was useful for you. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and we'll bring more content like this. It would really mean a lot to me if you support our channel. So really, please, I'm waiting for you to hit the like button. Do it for the YouTube algorithm, do it for me, do it for just being nice. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.